Good morning, guys. How you doing? Good Saturday morning. I just wanted to kind of check in and see how everyone's doing today. So, just wanted to make this quick video, kind of on Vechain again. I always do talk about Vechain, but kind of like a mix. Anyways, with the whole pandemic thing, shout out to my wife. We celebrated our anniversary on the 28th, and this was kind of like a late pick. So, if you're not following me on Twitter, follow me on Twitter. I don't post a lot on Twitter, more on YouTube. But if you are on Twitter a lot, just, come follow me, say hello and whatever. So this is at Jacob's Steakhouse. It's a pretty cool story. So this is a picture last year. It's a really expensive steakhouse that we went to, and pretty expensive. I usually don't eat at a lot of fine dining steakhouses, but there were like one of the only places in Toronto that has Kobe beef. So if you've ever been to Japan and had Kobe beef, it's just like, it's something that you'll be like, wow, this is crazy. It's awesome. It just tastes so good. Anyways, I think a plate costs like about $400 to $700 a plate or something like that. But anyways, the story, this was about last year, last April. So Toronto Raptors. So we have season tickets to the Raptors, and this is when they're playing Philadelphia and Philadelphia 76ers. So I was just asking the bartender, I was like, so anyone coming here, popular that on the Raptors tonight? They're like, no, but we have a reservation from the 76ers. So it was actually right beside us was Elton Brand. So if you're into basketball and you follow the 76ers, so Elton Brand was a power forward in the NBA, an all-star, and he actually sat literally beside me. So I was trying to like snap pictures here. Let me just show you a picture here. Yeah, so last year when we were sitting at our table and Elton Brand was right beside us, so I'm trying to listen into their talk, because I think they lost we were going into game 6 or game 5, which was in Toronto, and they lost the last game at home, Philadelphia. So I was trying to listen to their play story. It's pretty funny, and it was a lot of talk with the Raptors and how they're going to strategize, how were they going to actually lock down Kawhi. You kept hearing a lot of names of Kawhi, right? And that was pretty interesting. Kind of made my anniversary date even better. So that's it. Just shout out to the wife and happy anniversary. Didn't really post too many pictures because of all this pandemic, stay at home. If there was no pandemic, I don't know. I probably want to go back to this steakhouse. So if you've never been to this steakhouse, and if you're in Toronto, Jacob's Steakhouse, awesome place. Probably one of the best. The other thing is, so I don't know if you guys are poker players or play in a main event. If you guys in the U.S., I play the World Series of Poker main event every year. And I just posted this. I said, I guess I'm not playing the World Series of Poker main event this year just because of a whole pandemic. And I don't think it's going to happen even next year. Even if it does go on to the following year, I think it probably won't get as great of a turnout. It just really depends if this vaccine comes sooner than later. So when I look at the Twitter forums and boards and everything, and, there's people that says, like, they're so skeptical and they worry, and they say, well, they expect, a lot of people expect, Vechain going from 0.004 to like $2 tomorrow. And guys, it's not going to happen. Like, if you guys wake up and look around you and what's going on, the whole country and the world is on lockdown. No one's spending, no one's traveling. Even the traditional markets, you look at oil, you look at the stocks, ETFs, everything is down, right? And I don't understand why they keep harping on, well, why is Vechain down? It's not just Vechain, it's every other altcoin too. Bitcoin, except for like some larger players, you might have a Bitcoin rally. That's because the Bitcoin halving. But all the other altcoins aren't doing tremendous numbers. Like, we'll have short gains of like 10%, 7%, 6%, then it might, scale back and retract a little bit. But that's no different from Vechain. So everyone that subscribed to me on YouTube and they keep asking, how come it's not moving? How come it's not moving? Like, I don't have a crystal ball in front of me, and I can tell you exactly when it's going to move. But I think it's just, guys, you need patience, right? And if you believed in Vechain from the beginning and the strong partnerships that they have, then why are you still not believing? Like, if you look at the fundamentals of Vechain, the partnerships, what they're building around, which is blockchain enterprise solutions. And if you look at my other videos, we all know the potential in blockchain technology, going forward in the future, right? Like I said, we're in the early days of the internet, and more companies like IBM, Microsoft, they're all adopting blockchain technologies and enterprise solutions. So my point is, like, if you don't have patience, then sell. Like, if you don't believe in it, sell it. Like, for me, I'm a strong believer, and I've made great decisions, like financially, like good investment decisions over the years, because I do my due diligence. I look at the company, look who's behind it, I look at the news. Sure, transactions aren't what we expected right now, but like I mentioned, there's a pandemic going on, the world's on shutdown, consumer confidence is super low. So I don't understand why, you think VeChain alone is doing poorly, right? Sure, you have some other altcoins, like I've been watching Digibyte. Digibyte's been growing, right? So think of it this way. Back in the last bull run, so I don't know if you guys are new investors or just got into cryptocurrency, but let's say you came from 2016, or even just look at historical charts. Now, in 2016, 2017, 2014, 2015, there was no pandemic. There's no COVID-19, nothing. People started hearing Bitcoin. People were investing to Bitcoin. Consumer confidence was skyrocket, sky high. So there's no COVID, no pandemic. The money from institutional investors, retail investors, regular investors, any investors was so high. They're primarily buying Bitcoin or looking to get into Bitcoin. But if you look at the thousands of other scam coins that were out there, people were putting their money into even coins that had no utility. They just had a name. They weren't on any exchange, and they sought for pennies, thinking, well, if it's a penny, I could buy, 4 million of these and it could go to the moon. People were buying coins that don't even exist, that didn't even make sense, right? So imagine if there was no pandemic, nothing. What do you think the market would look like, right? Picturing the last bull run of 2016, 2017. So kind of put that in your mind and think about it. It's like, people were putting their money into like these useless crap coins that were horrible, that weren't even on like, Vet's top 30 and Blocktivity on CoinMarketCap, at least they're listed. But, like imagine we didn't have the pandemic, COVID-19, nothing, consumer confidence was really high. Imagine like where all these other, great altcoins would be. VeChain went from 0.003 weeks ago. Now we're at 0.0045, close to 0.005, and that's actually a 10+% gain, which I'm pretty happy. It's better than 0.003, but some people's expectations are, well, how come it's not at $1? If it went to $1, that's how much X% gain, right? Which is very unheard of, like even in traditional stock markets, right? So anyways, I think it's just patience for those of you who are on my YouTube channel and asking, well, why isn't it going up? Or when I see these tweets on Twitter and it says like, VeChain sold me, yeah, right, always an excuse. But like I mentioned, I own a supply chain technology company. Before this whole pandemic, I had some large meetings with like big companies. One of the biggest companies that offers like paper, home office supplies. You could probably guess it. They're red and white, the colors. But we had a maintenance agreement and meeting to cover all of their warehouse distribution centers in Canada. And that's been put on hold. Then we had another meeting with a tire company, which is probably the top competitor to Pirelli Canada. And we are covering all of their offices across Canada. But the deal has been given to us, but everything's on hold. And I just followed up with them yesterday, and they said, oh, nothing's going to really happen maybe in September. So I'm thinking September. I'm like, wow, that's May, June, July, August. That's like 4 or 5 months, right? So that's a lot of potential revenue and sales that we're missing out, which we thought was in our funnel that was going to come a lot sooner. So if you think about this, and we're not even that big of a company, but if you look at the size of VeChain and their partnerships and what they're dealing with, they're dealing with other partners and customers that they have to travel across the globe, whether it's PwC in Europe, PwC in China, DNVGL in Europe or in North America, etc. And with the whole pandemic, like, who can fly? You can't fly in and out of China. You can't even fly into Canada alone. Like if you're in the US, you can't even come into Canada, right? So all these partnerships that they have, do you think like, why do you think there's no mainnet transactions? Even Sunny Liu on his channel mentioned, or the Vechain Foundation mentioned that, you know, the pandemic has been slowing them down. And it's only fair to like give them that benefit of the doubt, right? Also, and then this guy he keeps going on, deal to Vechain, and hell yes, I keep circulating around until they perform or go bankrupt. They sold us the most fantastic stories and don't come with hopium bullshit. Soon, COVID or what the F ever. So many people lost money on their pretty pictures. FUD is bigger than ever, Vechain. And not to say that, you know, I'm going to be right, or, you know, that he's wrong, or that, you know, he's right, he's wrong, I'm wrong. You know, it's all a risk that we take. But like I mentioned, like I have a lot of faith in the company. I think, like I mentioned, I think we just all have to reassess in 3 months and 6 months, especially as consumer confidence and, you know, whether it's traditional markets, it's COVID, like once the economy starts to open up and more travel is enabled, then we can kind of reassess and figure out. But I think right now it just, you can't say that, my personal opinion is you can't say that, you know, this is FUD, right? You know, and it's like this too. So there was two pieces of news that came out that was pretty big, which was, everyone knows the last video I did, which was Woolworths in Australia. So apparently it's a lot bigger than I thought. So a user on my channel commented out on how large Woolworths are, how large they are, and also that partnership with GS1. So like I mentioned, GS1 is like your global standard for a symbology barcode that majority of every company pretty much uses. So every product, or let's say when you pick a symbology or barcode to attach onto a product, sometimes you pick whether it's going to be a code 128, a code 39. That is the barcode technology symbol. So, and a lot of people use GS1. And I've configured a lot of handheld units that are always GS1 barcodes, GS128. And GS1 is like, you know, that standard. So, and the Australian GS1, if they're working on blockchain technologies, just think of the future, because we're in such an early adoption on how big this is going to get in terms of blockchain enterprise solutions with traceability. There was a video that someone sent me a link on, and it just talks about GS1 talking about the future of blockchain traceability and food traceability in the supply chain. So this is huge. Like that partnership with Woolworths Australia and GS1 is big news. And you know, I'm going to zoom in and zoom out of this. So if you look at Australia, it's just the amount of stores. I think they're number 2, someone mentioned on my channel, for Vechain. I mean, for grocery stores around Australia. So like the amount of stores is just incredible. It's just, you know, I could keep zooming out and you can just see the global reach that they have here. I think they're also in New Zealand. So anyways, that's, and to kind of go back onto, you know, these people talking on Twitter and just putting a lot of negative news, it's guys like, do you think that Vechain is going to sign a partnership and we're instantly going to get 5 million mainnet transactions or burn rates or burn tokens the next month? It's like, no, it takes a lot of time. It takes, you know, project planning, you build a team, you do a test net, and then you do production. You know, you onboard them. And this doesn't happen within like 2, 3, 4, 5 months. But if they've secured that partnership, do you think that, you know, the partnership is going to go away in 2, 3 months? Like they've signed an agreement, they've decided to work on it, they put out some news, and then all of a sudden they're going to forget about it? No, it takes time, right? And with the whole pandemic, I don't expect it to go live in like a year or year and a half, you know, and I don't expect the stock as well to go up to $20, right? So let's go check out another, you know, more negative comments here. So here is another one of his infamous, famous tweets. So I just think this guy needs attention. So he creates a lot of controversial kind of tweets to kind of get more followers. And I think maybe he just needs friends, but who knows? Anyways, so what he replies here, you know, he says, This is with the My Story and the H&M and the COS deal with Vechain. And what he mentions here is one blouse, that's it. You know, LMAO, laughing my ass off. Another tiny pilot that burns no gas, being hyped to dupe rubies. So anyways, this is what he says. So he copies a tweet from a Reddit forum. He says, I went to my local COS store in northern China today to check if My Story products were there. They are. Here's an image, blah, blah, blah. There's a close-up of the QR code. And at the bottom, if you guys want to try yourselves, you can. I used WeChat for scanning, but I'm sure it works with the Vechain app too. At this time, it seems as if only one product has My Story tags. After browsing random clothes for 30 minutes and feeling like a fool in the women's section, I asked the attendant if they had any more. She checked the computer, but for now, they only had one of the blouses in the album above. Edit, yes, I bought some clothes. But, you know, he retweets this thinking that, yeah, it's just one piece of clothing with that, you know, QR code on it. But come on, like, give me a break. Do you think H&M and COS is going to roll out this huge project, get, you know, developers on board, get a project team on board, you know, even print one tag? You think they're going to print one tag and put on one blouse and that's the end of the project? It's like, no, come on, like, give me a break. Like, you're going to have, you know, hundreds, thousands of products. You know, they carry like thousands of products. It's gonna be on the blockchain eventually. So anyways, I don't know why he's laughing. It's like, do you really think that they're gonna stick one tag and call it a day? Like, come on, give me a break. Anyways, that's my rant for today. Stop listening to negative news, and also just watch out for those scam links on Facebook for clicking on links to, you know, send X amount of vet to this person and then get, you know, 3 times back. Just watch those links. Anyways, I just wanted to make this quick video, you know, with all the people that are, you know, spreading negative news about Vechain. It's just, you know, they probably like lost a lot of money short trading and day trading and listening to the hype, and you know, they're the ones who are expecting like coins to go from like 0.001 to like $100, and now they're kind of pissed off. But Anyway, you haters that are watching this, comment below. I want to hear your nice comments. And for the vet fam out there, you know, don't listen to all that FUD. You know, don't listen to those guys. You know, keep the community strong and subscribe to the channel. And let's do this.